We're live. It is 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon, and everybody knows what that means. It is Tea Time Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this will be alive every week on Tuesday afternoon. Annie Watson, thank you for joining me. I hope you're feeling a little bit better today. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Nicola. Some very good followers there. Our weather is horrendous. What a change from last week. It is drizzly and it's cold and the wind is going right through you. Hi, Cindy. The wind is going right through you. You definitely need a sweater or a jacket, especially for anybody who's going to the football games or the parades or whatever's happening this week. It's a funny thing, this American Thanksgiving. I think all my life we have celebrated the American Thanksgiving. It started out with my dad. He loved the parades, and there's nothing like the Macy Day Parade. And he would watch the parade all day. And then, of course, my husband is a sports nut fanatic. And when we got married, we cooked a turkey every Thanksgiving. We won't be cooking one this year. But yeah, it's a big deal, the American Thanksgiving, right? So I hope your weather, hi Nancy, thanks for joining us today. I hope your weather holds out for the parade if you're going or whatever's happening there. We had our Grey Cup this weekend in Canada. That is the wrap up to the holiday season. We had our Santa Claus parade and the kids were all out. It was beautiful weather. It's a lovely day to be out and enjoy the fresh air. Not so this week. So my follower Rose, she's not on here yet, but she probably will be in a few minutes. She put me on to some elbow pads. I had no idea that there was such a thing. You know, it's funny how you don't know about these things unless, you need them. So she told me about these elbow pads. Now, what is different about these elbow pads? They're made from very, very soft fabric, and they are pink, very pink. But you see here, it has a gel pad here on the inside. I'll just turn it inside out. It has a gel pad on the inside. You can see it goes from here to here. And you can sit this right on your elbow, right? To kind of, well, they say, this is the second pair that I ordered. The first pair that I ordered, I couldn't get them on because, these are made in China. And Chinese people are very small, not like us in North America. So this is the second pair that I ordered, and they fit pretty much, although I couldn't keep them on to sleep or anything. They made a big mark in my arms. So if anybody's interested in them, Amazon, just be careful and find out if there's any sizes. That was kind of my solution to leaning on my elbows all the time. But not enough real padding in them. So I'm trying to figure out how I can kind of up the padding in it and still have some protection there for my arms. They're so sore. Hi, Kathleen. How are you feeling, Kathleen? I know you were not well a couple of weeks ago, and I hope that you're feeling better. Hi, Karen. So today I wanted to talk to you about getting ready for the holidays. I'm so sick of the holidays. Some say it's the most wonderful time of the year, but I say bah humbug. Bah humbug. Not nice, eh? I just think that it's so much work and I get to do it all. So I'm not enjoying the holidays these years like I did in the past. I remember the days gone by when Christmas was fabulous. We planned the day for months and we shopped right up to Christmas Eve. I was a teacher, and so I would have the same holidays that the kids got. It was easy to cook a feast for 25 people, and I did it every year. I would spend 2 leisurely weeks basking in the glow of Christmas and New Year's. Oh, those were the days. Now, I hold fast those memories in my head, but those days are gone. And so is the money it took to make the holiday a great one. Remember that. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Kathleen. I'm going to private message you. We are pensioners and living on a disability pension. So we have little money left over. And I still try to do as much as I can as far as buying the adults and the kids and making the meal. But this year it's just all a little bit different because the prices have gone up so much. Turkeys are costing more, vegetables are costing more, desserts I can't even imagine. So that for the last couple of years, I've ordered my desserts. Somebody makes them and she sells them. And we ordered big boxes of desserts already made, but she's not making them this year because it's too expensive. And she can't justify charging so much money. So I don't know where I will get my sweets from, but I certainly won't be making them. As much as I would like to revisit Christmas of the past, all that's left are those memories that I have of them. And I value those memories when the kids were young and they were so happy with anything that you gave them. Just having to unwrap something was absolutely fabulous. Now it's time we mindfully thought of what is good for us, and always thinking about instead of always thinking about what is good for others. That's an excellent idea, Kathleen. Kathleen says everyone contributes a dish. I think that's a great idea. We have to start thinking about it in a different way. Things are not as reasonably priced as they used to be. And we don't have the energy to do the things that we used to do. Just because tradition started many years ago does not mean that we have to hold them now. My mother was Irish Catholic and everything had to be done a certain way, and the table had to be set. And, it had to have, you had to have hats and all kinds of things, right? She would do up the table she never did it. She had me do it. But anyways, I used to do it and I used to do it well, but not anymore. There's a huge difference between others' expectations of you and your expectations of what it should look like. It's really a time to ask yourself what you can do realistically and what you have to work with. Sometimes we have to learn to eliminate some of our expectations. We have to keep in mind that Thanksgiving and Christmas are one day of the year, and the other 363 days is ours to live for ourselves. If you're preparing a feast, you need to start planning days in advance. Oh, welcome from Australia. How are you? This isn't your first time here? I think you've seen us in the replays a couple of times because I recognize your name. So if you're planning your feast and if you insist on having it yourself, you need to start planning several days in advance. By doing a little bit at a time and a few tasks per day helps to facilitate the stress of the day itself. I start about 10 days in advance of the holidays, and anything that can be made, cooked, and frozen is the first on the list. Oh, good for you, Beverly. Good for you. You can do that because you don't have cats and dogs. If you have cats and dogs, you can't do that because they'll be in licking each bowl. So anything that can be frozen is done first and put back in the freezer. So these are not days when you're going to want to buy excess of anything because you're going to need that freezer space. So keep that in mind, especially if you don't have a big freezer. I no longer have the big secondary freezer. I have the freezer that's in my fridge and that's it. So it's not very big. When you complete tasks, complete them in a sitting position so that you save energy by not standing. So anything that you can do in a sitting position, do it. Always have your walker and your reacher available for you. I have a reacher in every room in my house because anytime that I have to bend down to pick something up, it saves energy so I'm not gasping for air. If I am preparing dinner, I am sitting on my walker and working at the counter or at the kitchen table. Asking for help and delegating is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. Remember that you don't have to do it all yourself, but you have to be willing to delegate to others. So many of us are not willing to delegate to others, and that becomes a problem. It's like when somebody says, "What can I do to help myself with COPD?" And I say, "Stop smoking and start exercise." And they go, no, well, I can't do that. Then I probably can't help you. So, we've all got kids. Doesn't matter what they bring. I don't care if it's store-bought or whether they make it themselves. It makes no difference to me. As long as it's edible, bring it, and that's fine, right? So asking for help is really important. It also lets others know that you trust them and that they will someday be doing this by themselves. And so it would be nice to know that you have some faith in their ability to accomplish the stuff. Decide whether you want to be a guest or a host. Makes a big difference here. Taking into consideration which each will entail. So if I am the host, I get to control almost everything. But the downside is I get to do more, plan more, delegate more of what has to be done. If I am a guest, I can't tell people to pull air fresheners out of their walls or not to wear perfume because I don't know who's going to be there, right? All it takes is for somebody to sit down beside me with perfume on, and I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I'm gasping for air. And, it makes it pretty uncomfortable. When I am a host, I can um, decide on what I want the temperature in the house to be, and I like it a little bit cooler. When it's hot, it's just stifling, and I can't breathe in the when it gets warm, right? So when you have a lot of people in the house, it tends to get very, very warm, especially if you're in a smaller space, right? If I if I am a host, I can decide on a escape room. Very important. And allow you got to talk to your spouse or your caregiver, your family, and say, you have to allow me to do this if I feel that I have to. You should be able to escape. Let people go on, let the party go on without you, and escape to where you have to go. I'd be going to my bedroom with my BiPAP for a few minutes. And I would do that unapologetically. If I am a guest, if I'm a guest, um, I probably don't have any place to escape to. And most places now that I find my family in, the bedrooms are all upstairs. So manage I couldn't manage the steps to get up because they're like townhouses and they go straight up, right? So just consider what it takes to be a guest or a host and what is most to your advantage. Um, I've chosen not to go out this year. Just not doing it. And because the place to be in my family is my sister's at Christmas Eve. And I feel really bad because I feel like I'm letting the family down by not being there. And I know that we don't see each other as much as we could. We all live within 30 minutes of each other, but we just don't see each other as much as we could. But there's nothing I can do about it. The moving around in the cold at night just it just takes the wind out of my sails. And so I could go Christmas Eve and I could uh, push through for Christmas Eve. But remember, I have to do that again for Christmas Day. So 2 days in a row is not good for me, and I know that right away. If I was doing that, I would have to have one rest day in between, and it doesn't work that way. So I've just chosen not to go. Um, I'm not mobile in the cold, and especially in the evening. If it was the afternoon, I could possibly go. But people have things to do on Christmas Eve and they don't want to go in the afternoon. They want to go at night after everything's over and they've done all their shopping and everything. Remember that you're not responsible for everybody having fun, even though they are your children. Setting up some games and playing some games instead of distributing presents is a really good idea that gets everybody involved instead of sitting around waiting for what they get. Playing some games is a great idea. That's what we're going to do this year. Set a definite ending time, starting time and ending time, so that you will not be lingering all night long, especially if you're going out. Um, Make sure that you and your caregiver know what time you need to come home, how that works for you, um, and do it unapologetically. You don't have to apologize for it. Don't forget that every other day, every second day should be a recovery day. And that's why you can't go 2 days in a row. So the rest of my family is going down to my sister's for Christmas Eve, but I won't be attending with them. Kathleen says the host usually do the turkey, the mashed potatoes, coffee, cream, etc. Others bring vegetable dishes, snacks, and desserts. And I think that's a great idea. It's a fabulous way of delegating, Kathleen, so good for you. There is no older you. There is only the present you. Refocus your attention to the present. Sit with your back straight and lower your shoulders, even if it hurts to do so, and especially if it hurts to do so. Take a few deep breaths in and out. Place your hand on your belly as you begin pursed lip breathing, and you will feel your belly going in and out. And that's when you know you're doing it properly. Without moving your shoulders, breathe in through your nose. Take that breath deep into your belly. Feel your belly move. Notice your shoulders. Keep them relaxed and low. If your shoulders are moving, stop and restart again. Sit with your back straight, lower your shoulders, place your hands on your lap, palms up. That opens your lungs up, and concentrate on your breath. Practicing now will help you to make it a habit. Breathe in through your nose, deep into your belly, and breathe out through pursed lips. So what I've been doing lately, when I'm practicing my pursed lip breathing, which I'm doing constantly, I've started to blow onto my hand so that I can feel that. And when I feel it, I know that it's actually happening. So it's a really good reminder for me to be exhaling through pursed lips. When you get in trouble and you cannot catch your breath, invite this to become your go-to. Inhale through your nose and take a deep breath into your belly. Hold for a few seconds and exhale through pursed lips. Begin to breathe using pursed lips. That's it, Mick. Smelling the roses, blowing out the candles. Remember to keep your thoughts positive. What you say has power. And what you tell your brain will come to fruition. Inhale through your nose and take a deep breath into your belly. Deeply smell the roses. Then exhale through pursed lips as if you were blowing out the candles. Stay in the moment and concentrate on your breath. Inhale through your nose and take a deep breath into your belly. Hold for 2 seconds and exhale through pursed lips. The idea is to slow your breathing pattern so we can breathe more efficiently. When we breathe too fast, as we're gasping for air, we are overextending or overinflating our lungs until you can get the stale air out with pursed lips. You cannot get any other air in. Each breath has more meaning than the last. Inhale through pursed lips or nose, deep into your belly. Hold for a few seconds and exhale longer than you've inhaled. Notice how relaxed you are. Inhale through your nose and take a deep breath into your belly. Hold for 5 seconds and exhale through pursed lips. I want to wish all of my American friends a happy Thanksgiving. And I hope that the day is fabulous. I will be watching the parade all day on Thursday and then the football game at night. So, happy Thanksgiving.